Every Dream Air video gets the same questions. Can a 5070 Ti actually run it? Should you buy the Super OLED or the Dream Air? Does the Crystal Super and Crystal Light still make sense? Is the SLAM tracking good enough? And is there a proper solution for the comfort foam of the Dream Air? In this video, we're gonna answer all of these questions. My name is Arnoud. I've been sim racing for years. I have only done it in VR, tested out all the Pimax headsets from the last 1.5 years. Let's get into it. Now, I have to be honest here. I am not running a 5070 Ti. I'm running a 5090. Because I don't want to compromise anything. But something I've noticed with using the Dream Air SLAM and Lighthouse version compared to the OLED is that this device has a little bit smaller field of view, but the amount of frame time I have left over in Le Mans Ultimate is actually pretty significant. So I can run it easily on native resolution. And to answer your question, if you can run it with a 5070 Ti or 4080 or 5080, then if you're running simulations or flight sims that are somewhat optimized for VR, then I think the answer is yes, you can run it, because they found this field of view and picture sharpness balance with the Dream Air. Let me explain. So in VR, you always make a trade-off. You're gonna have a nice picture, or you're gonna have field of view, or you make a compromise on this continuum. But this is not actually how it works. It's not linear. Let's imagine that this was 72 FPS with a steady frame rate. And if I take this line and I'd say we have an acceptable field of view, what's gonna happen with certain resolutions? As soon as we add field of view, we're gonna drop in picture clarity a lot. It's gonna be wild and insane. We're gonna have to put in so much more GPU power to get that nice picture. And I think with the Dream Air, we have found this sweet spot of acceptable field of view. It's not massive field of view, but we do have a sharp picture, and we're not loading up our GPU extremely. Now, I'm running a 5090, so how do I know if it's going to be good for a 5070 Ti? Well, I do change a lot in the Pimax Play on resolution to see how it looks when my 5090 is only loaded up for 40%. And it still kind of looks well. So you could think about 40% of a 5090, I think, is at least a 5070 Ti. Again, I want to point out, if you go even lower on your graphics card index, if you go lower down the tier list, so 3080, 3070, I mean, on the sales page they say you can run it. I think that's a tough one. It doesn't gonna look that good. It's just you need the GPU power, mate. So some of you have questioned, what's the difference now between the 8K OLED and the Dream Air? Because they practically have the same panels, OLED, but this device is just so much bigger. It has more field of view, a tiny bit. And the real is actually that extra little bit of field of view is actually, again, heavier on your system. So you're gonna it's hard for me to run this at native resolution. The Dream Air I can run on native resolution. But again, I'm doing Le Mans Ultimate. If you maybe play iRacing or a flight sim or Automobilista, then you can, I think, get the great sharp picture and have a little bit more field of view. If you currently have an 8K OLED, I'm gonna be honest here, it doesn't make sense to go with Dream Air. Maybe, or you just want that small headset, but I thought this was very comfortable. I did hours and hours of non-stop racing with the Super as well, so I wouldn't do it. I would enjoy the 8K OLED if you already have one. The next question you might have, what are of all the other Super headsets? The 57 PPD? What about the Super? What about Ultra Wide? And hell, what about Crystal Light? Is it still worth getting a Crystal Light at this stage? And the only thing I can really explain it to you is to look at this next graphic. This is an example of an HP refurb on the lightweight, comfort. Imagine that it's very GPU friendly, an HP refurb, because it was designed for 3080 or whatever. But it's really small it scores really low points, right? It has like a mediocre picture, contrast, what have you. Then if we go to Crystal Light, especially the sweet spot size and field of view, contrast, picture, it's gonna be a lot better. right? And also for comfort, it's not really that lightweight, so the reverb wins actually from Crystal Light. But then if we take the Super, we get kind of the same contrast picture, but we got more field of view, and we have more free eye movement because we have more field of view. And you can go on this list. You can see on the Pimax Ultra Wide we got more field of view. But then we come to the 57 ppd, and it still has a great picture and is GPU friendly, and it's a lot cheaper than, for instance, a Dream Air. And this is a proven product. I think the 57 ppd, especially when you have not the strongest system ever, then this still makes a lot of sense to get a 57 ppd if you're coming from a Quest 2 or a Quest 3. Then you're gonna be in for a treat still. If you like this guide and you want to read through it, I have this one in the description on my website. You can download it, and there are some affiliate codes here. A lot of people have used these codes, and these videos truly are getting better. I try to make them better, and it's because of you using the link. So I'm forever in your debt, sir. And there are some cool discount codes sometimes as well, so have a look. So is the Crystal Light still worth getting? Well, the feature the Crystal Light has is the 120 FPS, and it's actually super GPU friendly still. The only thing you could question is the Dream Air SE. Is it going to replace the Crystal Light? And when I get that SE version, then I will let you know. But at the moment, I cannot tell. If you now have a Crystal Light and you're enjoying sim racing and you get the nice picture and the steady frame rates, why change? It's a fine headset. If it sits nice on you and you're happy with it, then who am I to say you should upgrade all that stuff? You can still enjoy that, you know? I was running my HP Reverb for a long time before I upgraded that. So now a lot of you have commented in previous videos about tracking and the tracking things. Here's what I've learned from all the comments. It seems if you're only sim racing, then slam tracking is the way to go, for the simple reason that you don't have to buy lighthouses, you don't have the annoying noise, and as for the driving, the small movements you only make, or you may be looking around a little bit, slam tracking is absolutely fine. If you're using lighthouses and you're wanting to play like move around, jump around, whatever, then it seems that lighthouse tracking is the way to go. I think also you need then 3 lighthouses to get the whole scale picture. Another thing about slam tracking and lighthouse tracking is that the light, this light that I have here on my face, with slam trackings you can get some interference as well. So that's something to consider. On lighthouses you don't have that interference from different lightings. It uses the lighthouse tracking, and the slam tracking might be more light sensitive. So if you have a window outside putting in like bright lights, that can create distortion on the tracking and you could lose the tracking. What does that feel like? Well, it feels your head falls into the track, like goodbye. That's really horrible experience. So that's the trade-off. By the way, if you have tracking issues, if you hang some like random QR codes in your room, then that can really drastically increase the tracking reference for the headset because it understands these boxes. I have a few of those here hanging around as well, and that really helps to get better tracking from the slam versions. This is the standard foam kit from Pimax, and this created a lot of discomfort on my forehead. It was really pushing into my forehead. And the reason why that happened is I had to strap it hard to not get all this light from the outside world into my face. And that really started to hurt at my forehead. So, but then Studio Form has this new gasket that you can put on the headset. And this one is absolutely fantastic because it gives my Dream Air a whole lot better comfort. If I put it on right now, this sits great on my face. It is absolutely amazeballs. Now in the description, also in this Pimax guide, I have the things I ordered and I will show you real quick. I'm not affiliated with them or anything, but how does that work? Well, you get that gasket that needs to be put on the headset, and you have a million different types of fabrics to it. and you have like you can choose leather, or you can choose like other, and these are really like, oh man, it's so great on the skin, right? And you can also fill it out with different straps to make it fit your face, and that will also be in this Pimax guide as well, in the description. Studio form. I'm not affiliated with them or anything, but you can really customize it to your face, and comfort is yeah, only thing you can say about the Dream Air or Pimax itself. So why don't they put this into their product? But yeah, that's always the thing, right? We don't understand this. If you like this video, you're gonna love that one, because there I explain like the picture, how things look compared to the Super headsets and the OLED headset and the Crystal Light. It's a good video.